Sternum and SC joints for this week. Just a reminder to review bony thorax anatomy, specifically sternum anatomy for me this week. Landmarks. You guys can be sick of me reminding you to go over landmarks, but I'll say it all the time. Sternum routine for our clinical site is an RAO at 40 inches using a 10 by 12 cassette, and left lateral is done at 72 inches, again, 10 by 12. This is just an x-ray, a really nice one of a sternum. Mine never looked like this, with anatomy identified for you. The RAO sternum is a 15 to 20 degree oblique in RAO position, so right anterior oblique, okay. Centering to the center of the sternum, and where is that, you say? Well, you're going to put your central ray about an inch to the left of midline, and between jugular notch and xiphoid process. And I'll show you my trick to do an AP first to figure it out. But the trauma alternative in this really tiny picture here, and do I ever think you're going to see a trauma sternum? No. But if they're supine in the structure, you'll use a 15 to 20 degree tube angle instead of obliquing the patient. The RAO, why do we use RAO and not LAO? Well, I want to utilize the heart shadow that's on the left. So I want to move the sternum over it, okay? I always start with my patient AP, and I find my light field height-wise first. It's easier. I find their jugular notch, and I want to put my light above here where their finger is. You can find their xiphoid tip if you need to. I tend to just find my height on the top and then turn them around. Okay, so you've centered to your bucky, you're height-wise correct, and then you simply put them into the RAO, into the 15 to 20 degree oblique. This is a small oblique. You can see how his left side isn't pulled too far away from the imaging receptor, okay? Don't go too far. The light field will be over almost onto the left scapula. So I find the left scapula here, and I put my central ray almost right between the scapula and the spine. This is a little farther over than I put mine. Technical factors, a little bit higher than shoulder technique maybe, so maybe like a 16 to 25 and 75 to 80 depending on the thickness of their chest. Your textbook recommends an orthostatic breathing technique of increasing your seconds, so the patient will be breathing while this happens. We don't often do it that way at our clinical site, but you might see that at the offsites. Again, 40-inch SID. The obliquity depends on the size of the chest. The thinner chest thorax is going to be at the 20 degree, and the thicker is at the 15. Okay, so greater oblique for smaller chest. Evaluation, well, you want to see the whole sternum. Ideally. Mine don't look like this. I actually only get good sternum images when I do oblique ribs, to be honest with you. When I'm not trying, I get them. Again, just an anatomy picture, and I thought this was just pretty. Lateral sternum, you're going to move to 72 inches. Why? Because because the OID here reduces the magnification, really similar to that of chest, right? You're going to ask them, do you see how his arms are put right behind his back? And you're going to ask them to actually push their chest out, bring their arms behind their back. And I always go by the shadow of light here. I find jugular notch, and I put my light field above it and look for the shadow of light on the imaging receptor. This is what a really pretty one looks like. No rotation, superimposed. You can do it supine like this, or dorsal decubitus position. Would you ever have to do this? I'm guessing probably not, but just in case. And this is what a fracture looks like of the sternum. This is actually a healing fracture here.